Hello everybody, welcome to the channel here on Kev's Let's Game. And today we're going to be making a Road to the Show player. And we're going to create a new ball player. Let's do it. And we are going to make a two-way player. This guy I've been thinking about making for many years when I didn't have Major League MLB The Show. He's going to be a two-way player and definitely for his first pitching, he's definitely going to be a velocity guy, and then for batting, he was definitely he was a DH, so definitely he's going to have power because he played that DH position. For pitching, it doesn't give us a chance for relief pitching, so we are going to make him. Give me just a second here. Just reading up on the guy real quick, just to see. Says he was a relief pitcher. So we're going to actually just make him a closing pitcher in this one. And then he played both left and right field in college. So we're going to go ahead and make him a right fielder just because that's first on his chart here. Starting pitchers will be four seam, changeup, and curve. That's completely okay. He'll be a closing pitcher on the mound when they need to close out, and then he will be a right fielder every other appearance. And this guy, he wore number 44 in college. He went to my favorite college, Florida State University. And if you haven't guessed it yet, I'm going to tell you who it is now. Oops. And you guessed it, it is Jameis Winston from the Florida State University. Jameis Winston is going to be our guy. And of course, they don't have the name Jameis in the game. So we're going to have him be called Ace. And his last one we'll probably do. I really don't have a Winston? Sure, there's been a MLB player with the name Winston. Apparently not. So we'll go with Ace Wiley for him. He's gonna be wearing number 44. He's gonna be a right-handed guy, right-handed batter. He's gonna be from the East, and he's from Florida. Alright guys, here we are back at the screen here. As you see, Jameis Winston, he's 6'4", 228 pounds. That's what our guy's going to look like here. Jameis Winston on his back. And let's see where he will be drafted here in the MLB to start it here. So we're going to go ahead and choose our loadout here. So definitely... So this one will be our... Let's try to rename it again because it didn't work. Rename. pitching one, so definitely, let's see what we got here. So we got the closer. We've got a cheesy closer. He's going to have 72 velocity, 72 hits per nine, 35 control, 35 home runs per nine, and 35 bases, balls per nine. So definitely for this one, we definitely want to have control one. And then we will also do... He was definitely a speed guy, so we're going to go velocity. So we got control and velocity there. Let's go ahead and create a new loadout. I'm going to do hitting one. Then for hitting, I'm going to go cheesy slugger. And then for this one, he was definitely a contact guy from just looking at him. Do contact one, and then we'll also do some fielding here to increase his arm. So that is the two loadouts we're going to be running with. So for pitching, so he did have a four-seamer. He did have a curve. And the other thing too is that in this series, we're going to be every time he pitches well uh, or gets moved up to the lineup, we will change up his pitches every now and again if it starts getting too recognizable. So he had a four-seamer, a changeup, and we're going to change this one to a slider. So we're going to have four-seamer, slider, curveball to start the series. And let's see if we have any equipment we can give to him. So nothing for eyewear. Nothing yet. So he's just going to be a regular guy. Let's go ahead and get into it here. So we're going to start here with our pitching one loadout for Jameis Winston. And we're going to use the default rosters just to see where he's going to get drafted at the beginning of the 2022 season for MLB. So we're going to use default rosters, yes.
We're back at it with another season of the Road to the Show podcast. I'm your host, Ben Gelman. Today, we're focusing on the Major League Baseball amateur draft, specifically on one of my diamonds in the rough. This is a player, not a household name yet. There's a long way to go. Maybe not at the top of the draft class, but I think there's a real future at the major league level for this player. I have Hall of Fame outfielder Ken Griffey Jr. with me today. Ken, what advice would you give this player who might not be considered a sure thing to make it? What would you tell them as they begin their professional journey?
Yeah, I mean, you have an opportunity. Anytime you have an opportunity to impress somebody, to go out there and do something, then you can do it. And they don't care, who you are, what round, what this, what that. They just want you to go out there and play. And if you can perform day in and day out, you will be in the big leagues.
All right, so great news from Ken Griffey Jr. Hopefully we'll do well. For Jameis Winston here. And Winston, sorry for no audio. I will change that before the first game. So our former coach says, hey, have you been talking to any particular team, Jameis? We're just going to say, I just want to play for the ball club that wants us the most. No favorites, no sir. And then we're going to go right. So let's go on ahead and get into this game. Let's see where Jameis gets drafted. I will see you guys after the cutscenes.
Carlos, you lived that in your baseball career. What's this world like?
Oh, it's extremely exciting. You know that if you perform, you will get the call.
We've got a developing story here. JP, what are you hearing?
I'm checking the numbers, I'm talking to my sources, my scouts, and they're all telling me, hey, this could actually work.
Most of us mere mortals, when we were that age, we were barely chewing gum and walking at the same time, let alone playing the hardest game there is.
Let's see if he's pumping up mentally here to adapt. That's what good players do.
That dream of getting the big leagues is now becoming reality with that one phone call.
Oh, goodness, yeah. This is a struggle bus. Jameis Winston gets picked by Pittsburgh.
What? Are you kidding me? This is who we are drafting? You must be crazy. He is a career minor leaguer. He's not a major league player. We wasted a draft pick, a high one at that. Here, this is why we don't win. This is a terrible, terrible pick. Oh, my goodness gracious. Come on, fellas. Do your work. Do some research. Awful, awful selection. I hate this pick.
Well, somebody wasn't too happy. And here we are on the Altoona curve. We are both playing right field and closing pitcher. Let's take a look at our team here. So for the lineups, they haven't put us in yet. We are going to play right field. We're a 52 overall right fielder. Jesus. Okay, so we're going to be really, really bad. The right fielder scheduled ahead of us is Cal Mitchell. So he's definitely better. And we have a couple other good fielders, and Chris Sharp and Jared Oliva. So yeah, so we have a way to go. Let's take a look at the rotation. And in the rotation, we are actually the closing pitcher. Wow. So we do make it somewhere. We make it as a closing pitcher in our first action here in the MLB. So we're going to be drafted by Pittsburgh Pirates. Um, yeah. Uh, yeah. We'll see how this goes. But guys, that will do it for episode number 1 of the Jameis Winston Road to the Show. Thank you guys so much for coming out and watching the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next episode as we will start gameplay with Jameis, with famous Jameis. Later.